please stand for a pledge and a prayer? I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Y'all pray with me. Lord God, thank you again for blessing us with the opportunity to come here and represent these students and faculty. Lord God, may everything here be pleasing to you and in the interest of the students and the faculty. First in Jesus' name, amen.
I call this meeting to order at 6:30 p.m. There is a quorum present with one board member absent. Please note the agenda was posted in a timely manner. We'll start with recognition of students of the month.
With Miss Emily's pre-K class, and her student of the month, or for the second 6 weeks, is Mr. Fisher Foster. Fisher sets a great example for his classmates as to what a soaring cardinal should be. He's a great listener and participates in our lessons. He always does his best and works well with others. He's kind and helpful too. A great soaring cardinal, Mr. Fisher Foster. In kindergarten, Miss Tyler Combs' class, Mr. Ty Kite. Come on down. Ty is always kind to his classmates and others. He works very hard in class and always gives his very best. He is a true cardinal. Ty Fisher. Next, Miss Gordon's kindergarten, Mr. Lawson Hearn. Moving on to Miss Wyndham's first grade, Willow Jones. Willow is a perfect example of a soaring cardinal. She is kind and a friend to all. She does her absolute best at everything she does. I love her enthusiasm for learning, and her sweet smile brightens my day. For Miss Callie Jones' first grade classroom, Sophie Singer. Miss Sophie is a hard worker, kind friend, and sets a good example for her classmates. She is respectful and always has good manners. She is a joy to have in class and a true example of a soaring cardinal. Miss Sophie. Miss Pate's class, Harper McNally. is kind and so helpful. She always has a smile on her face and a determination in her heart to succeed. She is a friend to everyone. She is the first person I know I can count on to make the right choices to help wherever needed. She works super hard. She does the right thing even when no one is watching. She is a blessing to our class. Harper is an outstanding student and a pleasure to teach. Harper McAnally. And for Mrs. Norris's second grade classroom, Leona Petit. Now for our staff member of the month, Miss Emily Dumont.
Congratulations.
I'm proud to recognize Emily Dumont as our staff member of the month. When a teacher in our building had to be out unexpectedly, she stepped in and took the full responsibilities of the classroom with confidence, professionalism, and heart. She has provided our students with stability, strong instruction, and genuine care, truly embodying our cardinal values. Her willingness to go above and beyond has been remarkable, and I could not be more impressed or grateful.
For the secondary side of campus, I want to start off with honoring and recognizing a special group of middle school students. If I can have our readers or leaders come on up and go ahead and shake the board's hand, I'll tell you a little bit about them once they get up here.
Congratulations, great job. Congratulations. Good job.
So last year in the middle school, we started a new challenge, and what we call this challenge, Readers Are Leaders. And so this year, we continued that challenge. The English teachers and I felt reading in the secondary is very important. And so what these students do is, on top of their regular schoolwork, on top of all of their extracurricular and just being kids, they were challenged to read 8 on grade level books, or 16 of the smaller, more fun books. And each of these students accepted the challenge and met the challenge. And I want to say that it was a very short time frame that they had to complete this challenge, but it's very worth it. And I'll tell you at the end why it is. But I want each student to introduce themselves, and they're going to tell you the grade level that they're in, and also their favorite book that they read throughout the challenge.
My name is Bert Hawkins. I'm in the 8th grade. My favorite book was Jurassic Park.
I'm Striker. I'm in the 6th grade, and my favorite books were the Diary of a Wimpy Kid series.
Hello, my name is Brady Seals. I'm in the 8th grade. My favorite book was the first Diary of the Wimpy Kid book.
I'm Madeline Nunn. I'm in the 7th grade, and my favorite book was Percy Jackson, Curse of the Titans. Hi, my name is Rick Coleman. And my favorite book was I Survived Trial by Fire.
My name's Dakota Green. I'm in the 8th grade. My favorite book was The Vietnam War.
I'm Jordan Sisson. I'm in the 8th grade, and my favorite book was Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
So you can see there's a larger range of books and variety that they did read, and that's what we want. We want kids just to love to read. So we let them pick their books, but they found out today, and they got to pick. Miss Hutchins and I, we scheduled and we kind of figured out 2 different trips, and we wanted them to pick the trip that they wanted to go on. So guys, why don't y'all tell everyone what you're gonna be doing when we get back from Thanksgiving break and where you guys are gonna go?
Shreveport movie
And what are y'all gonna do at Shreveport?
theater. Watch a movie. And Outback.
IMAX movie.
And go to like jump thing.
And they're gonna go to a G-Jump place and then what the most favorite thing though, starting off at breakfast,
Get Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A. We know the way to their heart. So again, so proud of these readers or leaders. Out of our entire middle school, these 7 students stepped up to the challenge, and we're really proud of them and their hard work. So help me give them a round of applause. Our second group of students that we're going to recognize are some of our Spanish students. And Miss Sprayberry and I, we worked together on this because October is Hispanic Heritage Month. And so Miss Sprayberry did a great job of telling us fun facts and going over information that we could share each morning on the morning announcements. But her students also did projects. And so we're going to have Britt come back, and we're going to also have Miss Sprayberry and her other students. We've got Bryson Jones, Coralie Cunningham, Philip Sizemore, and Jaden English. I'll let Ms. Sprayberry tell a little bit about what we have, and then we're going to have the students show you some of their projects and tell a little bit about what they did in their classes.
I like to incorporate a lot of culture events also because I think it's important, for them not just to speak the language and things like that, but to also know a lot about the culture. So I'm going to let each student kind of tell you what we did at each level.
These are our Talavera tiles. They originated in the 16th century in Puebla, Mexico, and they are hand-painted and glazed over a white tile, and you see them in homes and stores and other places in Mexico.
And that was done by Spanish 1.
These are sarapas, and a sarapa means a traditional long blanket like a shawl or cloak.
They are brightly colored, and they're used for clothing, home decor, and souvenirs.
And that was done in Spanish 2.
These are Mexican mirrors. They're handmade by untrained artists and used for decoration. They're sold in markets, and in all different shapes and sizes. They're handcrafted from tin. They're known for their vibrant colors and details.
And so each of the groups, they decorated these themselves, and we hung them in the hallways. Ms. Sprayberry hung them in the hallway. And so they're great, like she said, learning about culture, but also speaking. And I knew she sent out some things for me to read in the morning announcements, and I knew I'd done a good job because there was a really tricky name. When JJ and Philip came out and they gave me a good thumbs up, I was like, okay, I made it through that name. It was a tricky name. But something that she doesn't know about that I want to go ahead and recognize, Ms. Sprayberry is also our November Teacher of the Month. And I want to say just a couple more things. Ms. Sprayberry, she has been just a phenomenal Spanish teacher for us. These students are so blessed to have her because she does go above and beyond, making learning the language fun, but also learning about the culture. And Ms. Sprayberry is just a ray of sunshine in our building. And like I said earlier, these artifacts and all the things the students have created, they hung right outside of our office. So they just made our whole hallway just bright and fun. And so we really appreciate Ms. Sprayberry and her wonderful students for all of their hard work. And so that's why we want to recognize them as our November Spanish Classes Organization of the Month. Last month, I was unable to be here. We had our National Honor Society induction, so I wasn't able to recognize our October Staff Member of the Month. So I wanted to make sure that I did that tonight. And so our October Staff Member of the Month for the secondary campus was Coach Fothergill. So Coach Fothergill and I, we actually just ran over here from basketball, but he's been gone to basketball all day. A lot of you may see Coach Fothergill, he coaches volleyball, but he goes straight into basketball, straight into track. He's always busy with extracurricular. Sometimes you don't realize that he also has a job in the classroom. He is an excellent U.S. history teacher. He also proctors our U.S. history, which is a challenging thing because he has to teach them the high school side and help them with their college work. But what Coach Fothergill does beyond and above that is the best part about him. He also helps our seniors. He helps to keep things in line as far as ordering their caps and gowns, making sure that they have all their invitations and everything ready to go for the end of the year. He helps plan senior trips, and he helps me keep things in line like ACT tests. He'll administer those for me. And so he just goes above and beyond. And anytime you ask, he's always there. He lends a helping hand. And so I'm very grateful to him and appreciative and so glad that we have him on the secondary side. And so that's why I wanted to make sure that we recognized him tonight. So our October 2nd.
All right, thank y'all for coming, and congratulations to everyone. Anybody that won, please go out here in front of the crest and get your picture taken, and you're more than welcome. You're good. All right, next up, conduct public hearing to discuss Maud ISD's rating on the state financial accountability system.
I'm just getting ready for the next part.
Okay. Do y'all have a copy in your packet?
Well,
here we go.
There was one in the packet, but we didn't.
Here we go.
Which one you putting out?
I can't
What's the top
prepare
sheet?
it.
Thank you, sir.
We'll start with just the first report, the actual report itself.
Thanks, sir.
Ooh. It's little, but that's about the only way to get it off the website.
Here we are, Jay.
This report, I mean, we can go item by item through it. Basically, we passed every indicator on the report, which I'm extremely pleased with that we did. We did take a little ding, if you'll notice, in the, whoops,
12.
here we go. Our score is 96 out of 100. We took a little ding on page 2 of the report. You'll see I put a heavy box around it on the printout that you have. Indicator number 12 is the correlation between future debt requirements and the district's assessed property values. And you'll see we only scored a 6 out of 10. And this is going to be hard to get this number up for the next 5 years. It is a problem created by the amount of debt we have after the 2023 bond. And the fact that really for the first 5 years we're paying interest on the 2023 bond and paying off the 2020 refinance of the bond, if that makes sense. Where in order for us to not incur heavy debt payments, it was structured that way going in. So this number, well, here's our tax collections, and this is our tax collections plus the state facility money. These is total in this number. Then this is our debt, and this is our property values. And our debt per 100 of assessed value is 7.87. That number needs to get down to about 4 or 5 for us to get our points back, get back to 10 points. So we're going to start out for the next 4 or 5 years already 4 points down. Okay, so a score of 96 basically is going to be perfect because this is something we can't do anything about. year to year. It's a locked in situation. And I ran the numbers on it this afternoon, because I know one of the things that I'm concerned about is, of course, that we take a ding, but also how long are we gonna take that ding? And I ran the numbers on it, and it does look like either in 2030 or 2031, that number will get back down to the point where we won't be dinged on this item. So 96 has to become the perfect number, really, for the next 4 or 5 years. We do have a 96. It is an A. It's a very good report. There's nothing else on the report where we take a ding, and that's what we're looking for. Also, we're required, and is there any item on this? Do you want me to go item by item on this report? No. Okay, thank you. Thank you. But if you will look, I think it's about the third page in, the first disclosures, and Dr. Seeger's going to bring that up here. We are required, as part of this presentation, to disclose some of the financial aspects. Item number 1, which is up above this, is the superintendent's employment contract. Just to note that it is posted on the website. If it was not out on the website, we'd have to have it out here on display tonight. But it's on the website. Anybody care to go look at his contract? Then the second item that we disclosed is reimbursements received, and the superintendent has a large amount because any of his travel and incidental expense goes down there. And then each of you, I think, have an amount that we pay for training and a meal during the year that we're required to disclose. Then, I think it's on the next page, the first couple items on that page don't really affect us. Outside compensation received, we don't have any of that. Gifts received, we don't have that. Business transactions, we do have one board member this year that we have business transactions with, board member 2, with the initials TR, and that's a large amount. That represents the amount that we pay to the Kubota tractor store, and we're just required to disclose that because of his employment connection there. In years past, we've had another board member that we have had some payments to as well, but we did not in this year. We have that one, and I think a large part of that number is maybe a zero turn mower that we bought. But anyway, we're required to disclose that, and so we have. That's about it in a nutshell. I'll be glad to go deeper if you want me to. I'll be glad to answer any questions, or I'll be glad to sit down and just move to the next item on the agenda. That's what you wanted. There you go.
Thank you, Tommy.
They told me to go fast. All right. Next up, public comments.
There are none.
Communications.
Just, we had one thing from Blair Hart with Orr Chevrolet. We had a person purchase a vehicle from them and made a $250 donation back to Mod ISD. So one of their kickbacks that if you buy from them, they'll make a donation to your nonprofit of your choice, and it was Mod ISD was one of their choices. So we did deposit that check in the amount of $250 back into our general account.
Next up, consent agenda. The minutes of the October 20th regular meeting, monthly financial report, the renewal of the district's property, automobile liability, privacy, information security insurance, and the 2025 tax roll as prepared by Bowie Ked. Anything they want to talk about? Motion to approve the consent agenda?
We'll make a motion.
Motion by Terry, second by Melford. All in favor? Next up, consider a possible revision of Mod ISD adult meal process for the 2025-2026 academic school year.
Okay, board, this is one thing I got from Miss Montgomery right before our last board meeting, but it was too late to hit the agenda.
I got packages. I just want to put them up here.
Sorry, I was caught off guard. Anyway, so she was running back through her numbers again, working on our adult meal prices for this school year. If you remember, we, from the fall, we set, this was the sheet that was used in calculation, and we set that number at $5, and at $5 it showed that we were breaking even for our adult meal prices. In working with Region 8 recently, she was able to see that there was a number that was not placed in, and this number here was incorrect. So moving back to our updated form here, we can see that we need to be charging $5.16 to break even for our adult meal prices. This is the ones like if a teacher gets a meal or superintendent gets a meal, any of those meals there. And so we don't need it to go below. So we have been taking a hit in the last 2 months. The recommendation is to change that to 5 1/4, which is a small price, small difference, but put us back into the green on the adult meal price for the rest of the school year. And so that just gets us back right. Our breakfast prices were all good. No changes need to be done there, but it is just a change to our adult meal prices for the year. Any questions?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
You know, we approved this back in 26th of August. I don't understand why it wasn't correct then.
I think when I'm talking to Brandy, the information she had
we was already late after school started before we even got the price approved.
Yes, sir.
And now we're gonna redo it?
Well, I would say I would recommend it based on knowing that we're going in the hole. And so, from what I understand, working with her, as she worked at the service center, there were some discrepancies on it, and it was incorrect.
Okay, anything else? No, other than I'm not happy with it. That's what we've already approved.
Frustration, us not having it, and not having the right number to begin with, and now we're coming back.
It was late to start with.
60 days later.
They're having to redo it. That's the only thing I got a beef with.
We all know we gotta change it, got a hole, but I'm not disagreeing with you either.
Voice my frustration with it. So.
We have a motion to approve the MISD adult meal prices as presented.
Make that motion.
Motion by Melford. Second by Tim, all in favor? All right, consider possible approval of elementary library items.
Okay, board, this is again Senate Bill 12. These are in your board packet. I've looked over them, Sears looked over them. Don't see anything in there that stands out. It just needs to be voted on by the board to approve them. And we can make that purchase to whatever company this came from. I don't have it on the top of my head it usually comes through multiple vendors, and so but anyway, it's just part of the series of checks and balances that we have as a district now, based on making sure our parents have opportunity for input and the board has opportunity for input. If any questions related to this list?
I know the library's getting full. What do we do? Do we clean old books out?
They go through and take old ones and
Donate them?
probably go to the library here in a lot.
But they do go somewhere.
Yes, sir.
Other than trash. Sure. Any questions? Tim's over reading the books.
Trying to see.
Okay.
If you're like me, Tim, I can do this. A lot of the life stuff, and you can probably tell that the diaries of the Wimpy kids and those things are kind of a big deal with kids.
Motion to approve of the elementary library material.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Gap.
Second.
Second by Melford.
favor? Next up, presentation, policy update 126 local.
And board chose this month to put it in your board packet so you could have a chance with it, but also to have another month to look at it. It's a really dense packet. So ASB says it's the largest one they've ever put out. And so they even sent me a sir, and they even sent me a letter that says it's costing more because we had to work harder we've ever done this. So there's a book sitting on top of Miss Holly's desk right now that looks like an old family Bible if you really go in there and look at it. So what I did is I just kind of pulled off the local pieces that are coming out. Again, the legal are the ones that we don't have an opportunity to vote on, but the locals are there. So just quickly run through these. BE local, this was the one that changed our board meeting notices. You know, typically we'd post on a Friday and we'd have board meeting on a Monday. Now it's 3 business days. And so, and it's not a post on a Wednesday, have a board meeting on a Friday. You know what I'm saying? It's 3 full business days. And so that's been a change. And that's not just for us, that's for every municipality in the state of Texas. So that's been I'm getting used to, but I think Miss Holly has cracked the whip just right, and we've been able to get there every time, so it's not a big deal. Another piece that's going to be as we work, and we haven't done it on this one, but we'll start as we approve it, is just recording the votes of every board member as either for or against in that piece there, instead of just consent unanimous. We'll say each member's vote for every.
Yeah, but didn't I think I read in our local that we can still do a hand vote?
Yes, you can still do a hand vote. We just have to record it as each member's vote was either for or against. So it's not, it doesn't, we don't have to roll call.
Oh,
we can,
okay.
but we can still, but a show of hands, do that. It's just Tommy will have to note the configuration of each board member. And so, all right, BED local. Public comment goes at the front of the board meeting. We've always done that in mod to my knowledge, but there are places where public comment goes at the very end of it. And so it's kind of like, well, you're going to sit there and suffer the whole meeting before you get to public comment. So that's just to be convenient for the public. CJ local was prohibition of diversity, equity, and inclusion. That's been a state piece across the board, DEI, and prohibition of that being taught in the classroom as well. So as a matter of fact, y'all remember we did a resolution on that piece before school started. That's one of our updates. CBQ local, cybersecurity, notifications for cybersecurity incident. Just make sure that we notify everyone if there's something that does occur. CD local, artificial intelligence. This is one that's going to, I expect, to grow considerably. But regarding training for this, and also there's pieces coming out of this as far as not necessarily plagiarism, but not your work. And so there's kind of a few pieces going to be growing in that one in the future. We're not running from AI. It's actually a great tool for our staff to use in the classrooms. And the ones that are embracing it are seeing a considerable saving in time, as far as the building of those things. But it's something that it's a tool. It's not, it's not on autopilot. It's got to be managed, is what I'm saying. So I expect that one to continue to grow. CSA local, safety and security provisions added regarding designation and use of private spaces. This is really looking at from what I understand is places for breastfeeding, places, for places at school to where if someone has to do something, there's privacy, because in a school setting, not everything's very private. So you'll probably know that. CV local families, facilities construction. It's a change in the competitive building threshold, where the competitive threshold has been at 50,000. They've moved that to 100,000, but the superintendent did not change in this one. So I believe ours was still at 25,000. Is that right, Tommy? And so anything over 25,000, I still have to come to you for approval.
Well, then there needs to be a correction in our local then, because it marked out 50,000, put 50,000 still in its place. If it went to 100,000.
On the
Up there at the top.
okay. Double check that one.
If I'm thinking about the right one, because it didn't make sense if it marked the red at 50,000 now and put a blue 50,000 in its place.
that's for the superintendent right there.
I think so.
That's what I was thinking, so, okay. Yeah, as far as the competitive threshold, though, it did move the big piece to the 100,000. DBB local conflict of interest. This is a statement regarding personal services performed by an administrator. I think this is the moonlighting one right here. Everyone typically can work second jobs outside the superintendent and assistant superintendent. And so probably because there's a lot of superintendents that work for other businesses on the side, you know, hey, buy my roofing or buy my whatever, you know, that I work with, that's been killed by the legislature. So anybody below superintendent and assistant superintendent can moonlight, they can work for other services, no problem. But superintendents was put in the law this time, so just a piece there. Kind of worked on my retirement a little bit when I did that. DEC local leaves and absences, a statement regarding daily rate and pay with House Bill 2. And then they added an exception for a concurrent use of paid leave. And so that works beside with your FMLA and your regular leave times in there. DFBB local, non-renewal, they added reasons for this, and this is really went into the sexual conduct pieces that were added with educators this year. There's a considerable amount of language that went into the educator code of ethics and conduct in there, and also the district's responsibility for reporting. And so there's been some cases in the past where something didn't go well and they parted ways and they didn't make a list. And this is the state's way of making sure that people that offend, do anything that's illegal with kids is reported and not allowed to teach again. And so DH local, employee standards of conduct, this is the ditto of that last piece right there. Added those into the educator code of conduct provisions. And regarding prohibited assistance with social transitioning. Not an issue that we've had in MAUD, but I actually read a case file this week where there's districts have been told not to help with social transition in whichever, and I agree with that 100%, but the caveat comes on this one is we all know for years that we've had kids that went by a different name. You know, like, hey Bubba, or hey whatever, you know what I'm saying? And there was a kid that had been going by another name, a different gender name, and now he's being called by the other name. So it's going to the Supreme Court. I'm just telling you that right now. And so, but it's one of those that the school's not didn't give any to the other name, so they're calling back, and so they're crying discrimination because you're not using my preferred name. Again, it's ugly, crazy. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's going to be case law real soon. So, EPP local lesson plans regarding posting of instructional plans and course syllabi. And so, this is why I rarely recommend our teachers to use Bluebonnet, because it's in line with the state. It's real easy. They can just put that out there and they don't have to do a lot of work. And so, but if you don't follow that, you're posting your syllabi online and your whatever you came up with, and it's there for lots of scrutiny. So, again, there's a big emphasis on what's being taught in the classroom, making sure that it matches what's in state statute. So again, we've known for years and years, you can say we're teaching this, but when you go behind that closed door, it can be a totally different animal in there. So just the state's way of trying to make sure it's controlled. EFA local instructional materials, provisions regarding parent requests for instructional materials, so parents can request what's being taught in the classroom. And so I don't know that that's ever not occurred in small schools, but you know, it's just the state's way again, continue to make sure parents are able to join in. Would you text Jason and just tell him hold tight? Mark? EIA local, grading and progress reports. Parents districts must now provide 2 opportunities for parent-teacher conferences. And so we've already had one in the fall where we amended our date just a little bit, and we'll have another one in the spring for our parents as well. So it kind of goes back to what, if you've been around for a while, about 15 years ago, that was a pretty common practice as well. We had a fall and spring. FA local.
That makes sense.
Parents' rights and responsibilities, just a new code regarding parent portal. We've had in the past, it's easy, I think, to get a hold of us in the district, but it's making sure that there's administrator email addresses and board member email addresses on the website so that you can be easily gotten to. And so I would say that would be your mod ISD address and not your personal one, though. And so that keep down some things there. FEF local release time provisions added. The requirements that students attend for a release time course. This one really is leaning toward like religious practices, but there is a time built in for kids that wish to participate in a religious course or away from school to not be counted absent for those times there. The problem that you're going to get into that I say with that is they're going to be missing time at school. And so if you're not here, you're not learning. So we learned that during COVID, but that is a piece that's brought in. Again, I'm not really sure of the angle of that one. It'll be something that we'll see as we move forward. FFAC, this is the one that you remember when we started the school year, we had all the confusion about what can the nurse do, what can the nurse not do, and all those pieces there. And then they came back and said, we think you should just use common sense. And our response back to the state was, well, why did you muddy the water so much? So, but non-prescription medication provided by parent is in accordance with legal requirements and delivery of options for epinephrine. And so, these are all things that we've been doing that in mod with epinephrine, making sure that kids are available to get that if they need it for allergic reaction. So, FFB local crisis intervention provisions added regarding notification of teaching staff of a threat. And so, if we have a threat on campus, that's the piece that comes back and says, hey, you got to notify your staff if a threat occurred. It's not saying we're going to stop what we're intended to notify. It just, we got to know them that there was a threat, or if one of our students or staff comes up and says, I'm going to do something, we still got to notify our staff, whether we think it's credible or not. I'm saying, so that's just a piece there. FFF local student safety, text suggested to clarify that this policy applies to more than just educators. I'm drawing a blank on that one right quick, Terry. I'm sorry. Remember that one? I'm thinking that's probably. That's why we're putting it into next month.
I really skimmed through.
FFG, child abuse and neglect. This one's a big change. We've had 48 hours to report abuse. Now it's 24 hours. And there's a big caveat that's changing in this one as well. It's no longer, help me out here, David, it's no longer when you have knowledge of it, it's when you suspect now.
Yes.
And so that's a huge change right there. And so, and that's a scary change right there. Because, RJ may walk by and say, man, I think so-and-so just mistreating so-and-so. So at that point right there, I have something to suspect. I got a report. Where before, I may have said, RJ, you're out of your mind. That kid's well taken care of. And so it is a big change right there in that. And so that threshold has been lowered significantly than what it has before. And so, and again, the state's purpose is we want to make sure kids are taken care of. It'll be interesting to see how it moves forward as the state agencies across the state I'm sure their caseloads have increased exponentially to date.
They didn't have enough people to do the 48.
So, FNG grievances. This just really changed our timelines, basically shortened them down some. And so, and again, making sure that it's easy for parents to get to things. And so that's I think Ms. Holly's always doing a great job of making sure a parent can get to that if they need to, or an employee can get to it if they need to. But it's just making sure that it's there, and it has shortened those timelines some, just to be heard. And so we don't want that to drag on forever. Typically our practice is, let's get through it, solve it, and move on. So, FO local. Optional provisions regarding parental involvement in discipline placements. This one's a little strange in my opinion, but it's like if my child gets in trouble, and I come to the principal with my child and we work through it, and if certain provisions are met that the parent does, then the kid can get out of trouble earlier or not have as lengthy of a placement. Really, I think they're thinking about DAEP and stuff like that, but this is another one of those just, it's going to be interesting to see how it progresses. And so, then GKA, school conduct on school premises, no diverse, or is it DOI? Oh, excuse me. DOI, our normal DOI, districts of innovation. There were districts that were DOI out of Chapter 37, which is Code of Conduct. And so now the TEA said you can't come back and DOI out of that. To my knowledge, we don't have any DOI on Chapter 37 anymore at all. And so, not a problem for us. Weapons exception is for an individual who holds a handgun license. So again, some of the provisions of no weapons on campus for like adults, they have handgun licenses in the parking lot. Not a problem. Adults,
Can't
not
go in
kids,
the
not
building.
kids. Sir,
Just can't go in.
can't go. It cannot leave that car. You know what I'm saying? That
Can't be out over.
and so if it comes out of that car, it's a felony at that point. And so, you know, and one of the things, well, you know, guardians and stuff like that too, they have to be careful because it's only in your district, so you can't go somewhere else with that either. So, you know, they have to be very careful with that piece as well, not to create a felony in another sister school district. And that's all on the local side. And so now there's a ridiculous amount on the other side as well. I went through and highlighted one. I'll send that document out to y'all either tomorrow or first next week, so you can start kind of seeing the provisions in that one. I highlighted the ones that jumped off. You know, some of them are just kind of like, oh, okay. But just so you have a little more time to look at it and get some questions if you have, shoot them to me. If you would shoot them to me, I really like Terry takes care of me on that one, so I'm ready for it.
I started reading that long when you said that. I said, "Well, where's my cheat notes at?"
Yeah, this is the biggest one ever. Like I said, it was going to be I'd say the biggest in my tenure. But when they say it's the biggest ever for TASB, I was like, holy cow!
I believe it. You catch your breath for a minute?
You're good.
All right. Next up, consider and approve updated HB3 goals, envision student experience, and model graduate profile.
So what I want to do, board, is come back. You know, we met a couple of weeks ago with Ms. Reed. Ms. Reed worked through our envision student experience and our graduate profile. So I just wanted to review where we've been, what we've done today. Our strategic plan, our vision statement. We want to create our responsible democratic lifelong learners. Our mission statement, Maud ISD strives to prepare students for productive members in ever-changing society, ever-changing environment. And then just our priorities as a district, you know, high academic achievement for all students. And inside of this one is where our House Bill 3 goals reside. Our third grade reading goals have been to increase from 58 to 74% of MET standard by June of 2029, and that will show back up in a minute. Our third grade math scores will increase from 58 to 78% by June of 29. And our graduates in CCMR will increase from 83 to 93. If you remember last year, we've been higher than that in CCMR in completed high school. But the formula was changing, and we expected that to drop substantially just by the way the completers were built. I'll talk about it in a second. Our other parts of our recruit and retain quality staff, our operational excellence, safety, and quality facilities and finance. Those have been our linchpins that we believe and hold true to. This piece right here, this is our HB3 goals again. This is our third grade reading. Better be reading. No, this looks like CCMR. So this is our CCMR, which we said was going to be 83%. This is lagging data, so this is 2024, but our 2024 score was 100. So even though we expected it to lag some, we didn't. So that's impressive. There's a lot of work going on in the CTE to make sure our kids are ready. So really pleased with that. But if you see our goal progression is still lower than what we have been, because we know that formula is changing. So they did a great job in 24. Third grade math, our goal was decreased from 58 to 78, and you can see last year they scored in the 63 percentile, so that as a whole went up. And so, and you can also see in our subgroups here as well across how they performed from 24 to 25. So there was some dips in some of our populations, and some of those are extremely small populations you see those dips in. So 1 or 2 kids is a huge percentile change for those as well. But overall, when you can see that we were shooting for a 63, 58, we were shooting slightly above that. So 63, they're right on track for getting to 78 by year 2029. And then should be our reading ones here. Yeah. You can see that again, from 58 to 74, they came in last year at 60%. And so, as a whole, and you can see our sub pops across the bottom here, how they performed in relation to the year before. So again, pleased with our progress. You know, again, we do have some dips on there. Those are in some of our populations that are small though, and so teachers continue to work with the principal in that to make sure that we improve those and continue to increase them. And the last part is our Envision student experience. And I thought the board did a great job working with Ms. Reed to create our Envision student experience. I want to take just a minute to read this to the whole group. It says, every day, each student learns through hands-on, challenging, and engaging experiences led by passionate, caring, and effective educators. Every day, each student has the opportunity to pursue interests and passions while building confidence, teamwork, and leadership skills through a variety of courses and extracurricular activities. Each day, every student learns in a safe and joyful classroom environment and supports their overall well-being. And each day, every student learns from a tailored education to fit the needs of the learner. To me, it says a whole lot about what our board expects for our kids each and every day. And so that's a statement there that after tonight, I plan to pass down to the rest of the principals and also to the teachers that, hey, this is the expectation for every kid in MOC. And then just a copy of our graduate profile as well that you worked on that same night. MISD graduates are financially literate, prepared for life, and resilient. They're hardworking, humble team members who demonstrate strong character and are ready for success in any path they choose. So that's the goal. You know, that's the goal. When they graduate, if they can do that piece, we've won. You know, we've got them ready. So I was really pleased with the progress. You know, worked hard that night, but I think these are great documents that we can hang our hats on going forward. So it's my recommendation that we do approve those as presented.
We got any questions? I have a motion to approve the updated HB3 goals as presented.
Make a motion.
Motion by Gap, second by Josh. All in favor? All board members approve. All right, next up, information items. Principal's report. Who's gonna skip that one?
Yeah.
Signature.
Yeah, I'm not gonna read it.
Works for me. Skip Josh's.
I can give you the Josh report.
No, we're good.
Josh had a.
It's going great. Doing that.
Man, how'd you know it? Did you read it? Yeah.
My goodness. She's gonna be here a while.
Oh no, we're gonna fly through this. We just had such a fun month. October and November have been a lot of fun. The kids, there's great things going on, and I just want to share everything with you guys as much as I could. You know, they say a picture is worth 1,000 words. What?
He's measuring yours in by weight.
Oh, okay. Our attendance was up this 6 weeks. We are at 97%, which is woohoo from last 6 weeks. You can see our soaring cardinals on the front. They actually took their picture on Halloween Day. Super cute. I treated them to Sonic drinks of their choice, and then they had an apple bar where they got to put marshmallows and all the fun caramel things, and we ate outside, and they got an extra recess, and they said that was the best day of their life. So it was fun for them. I enjoyed getting to sit out there and talk with them, just visit and get to know those kids really well. We took them to see Matilda, our 2nd through 5th graders, the play at Pleasant Grove High School, and I'll tell you what, they did a fantastic job for our kids, and we received so many compliments on how well behaved our students were. So kudos to them. Our staff enjoyed an apple bar, just a little, show them a little appreciation for the hard work that they do. Our 5th graders turned into scientists and stepped into the role of teacher for our pre-K, kinder, 1st and 2nd grades. They went down and showed them how force and motion work. They built roller coasters and tracks, and the littles, they were so excited, and they had a good time with that. Our 4th and 5th graders that have published works outside of their classrooms, 3rd and 4th graders, our kids are just doing a phenomenal job, 2nd and up, writing paragraphs, stories. They are really putting in the time and the work with our babies. They're producing wonderful works. Our pre-K students, they were enjoying their fall activities. They were making fall trees and having a good time in arts and crafts. Tell you what, they are really enjoying pre-K right now. There's a lot of singing, a lot of arts and crafts, and just having a good time. Our next picture below it is Miss Boone, our counselor. And she's going in, working with each one of our classes, doing social and emotional lessons once a week, pre-K through 5th grade. So they are all getting to see her, getting to know her, and listening and growing together with her. We had our 2nd annual night out. The kiddos came up and they watched the Charlie Brown Thanksgiving. We had about 80 participants in all. It was a really fun night. We had popcorn and pickles, lots of pickles.
We wouldn't know we were stuck in here.
Oh, that's right, y'all were. You missed it.
Okay.
Okay. Did y'all see the big movie screen outside?
See it glow from right here.
Yeah, it was almost as long as the elementary building. I tell you what, they had fun. It was a little chilly, but it was okay. Then we had our Halloween shenanigans. The kids were in full swing. They all dressed up in costumes. The teachers had fun games and activities. They spent the day just doing lots of Halloween games, reading games, math games, and then we wrapped the day up with a pep rally, and just a lot of fun. I enjoy being able to do the Halloween. Next year we're going to move it more toward book characters, and I think they'll really enjoy that. And you can see on that the last page where the pictures are, the teachers really got into it. I think that is Ms. Churchwell and Ms. Who is that? Ms. Churchwell and Ms. English. The kids wanted them doing silly poses, and so we got a picture of them being silly. Oh, and then on the bottom of that page, Miss Norris's class, she does a fantastic job with her kiddos, keeping them engaged even on crazy days like Halloween. They were finishing up a unit, and she had, let's see, that was Halloween, yes, had activities, games based on different Halloween activities, but like I said, she makes learning fun. The kids were enjoying and wrapping up their unit in math. We hosted our first color run with me here. It was a huge success. The kids had a great time. As you can see, the parents got into it. Also, we're definitely going to keep this one around and do it again next year. I think we probably had about 75 participants, so it was great.
Raised good money too, didn't it?
I think so. I think we raised $1,600. And thank you to all of our supporters, our sponsors who came out, and they set up their tables and gave out free water, free little ducks and coupons. It was a lot of fun. And then we treated our staff to Pie Day this week. We went and bought little pies from Walmart and went around on the cart and just said thank you for the wonderful job that they are doing. And then our kindergarten and 1st grade kiddos had an assignment. They were supposed to disguise a turkey, and the turkey was not supposed to look like a turkey, and then they hid them around the classrooms. It was fun. As you can see, they used their imagination. We've got gumball turkeys, popcorn bag turkey, just really cute. They did a good job. Upcoming events, we have our pre-K and kinder Thanksgiving parade tomorrow. It's like a Macy's Day Parade. It'll be live streamed so parents can see it. From there, we're gonna do a drive run this year. Hopefully we'll be able to do it outside next year, but I think with the rain coming through, we'll have to keep it inside tomorrow.
What time's that gonna be?
8 o'clock.
Thank you.
Yes. And then in the afternoon at 2 o'clock, we're gonna have our second annual Turkey Bowl. Our teachers are gonna bowl 4 turkeys tomorrow. The kids love it. They're in the stands, they're cheering their favorite teams on.
They throw turkeys down the gym with mats.
Well, we put a, what is that, a
Tarps down.
We put a tarp down, and they roll hard turkeys at the bowling pins, so it's like a turkey bowl. Yeah, the kids love it. And the teachers have their teams named, and oh yeah, the kids have little songs and stuff that they sing, and they really get into it. So we're excited about that. December 10th, no school. Our kids will be participating in UIL, and they'll come and go as their UIL events happen. On the 11th, we have seniors for Cardinals, and our elementary student council will be presenting. They'll tell about what they did at TEPSA and what they learned. And we'll have our Christmas parties on the 19th, and both the 18th and 19th are early release days. We have a lot of fun activities planned for them in December too, so lots of pictures again.
I will say on your turkey bowl, last year I was a little bit like, but I went and watched it, and the kids got into it.
Oh yeah.
It was a lot.
They're cheering and celebrating.
They were, the kids wasn't doing it. The kids were cheering for the teachers.
Yes.
So, that was pretty cool to see that the teachers as the rock stars out there.
I just more than happy.
Do you have any questions?
We'll address it next time. We'll make a list for you.
Oh, okay. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. All right. Next up, updates on 2023 Mall ISD bond improvements, new cafeteria and band hall projects, and update on new driveway loop project.
All right, Mark, we're going to work on this one now, okay?
You gonna pull Jason in?
I'm going to pull them in and try to get some other pieces up too, so. All right, let's see. Y'all hear us okay?
Yes.
Hey, sorry to keep you waiting tonight, but I appreciate you hanging in there for us, okay? All right, so as far as the Mott ISD bond improvements,
I can go ahead and talk about the cafeteria a little bit. Pretty much, Rogers, the interior metal framing is almost complete. They're working on secondary power pulling wires and cabling. Most of the plumbing is in on the rough end side. Currently, we were getting ready to do some sheetrock this week, but with the rain coming, kind of holding off on that. And then he should start putting in some windows here in probably about a week, 2 weeks. I think his guy's going to take a couple of days off for Thanksgiving. But also we're doing the prep work, canopies, that's getting going, and starting to get the glass work for the storefronts and those kind of things. So we'll start working toward getting some finishes done, those kind of things. As far as the drive loop, I know we're going to discuss it, and I think it's later on the agenda, or I can.
we're going to bring in the kind of the big pieces right now with
Okay.
Jason, Robert, and you, and kind of work through those pieces right there. If that's all right, y'all. I think
Yeah,
it
I
plays
mean-
well. So as far as presentation, Jason, are you able to put some stuff up on the drive loop stuff, or do you need me to kick some stuff?
I can pull something up real quick here.
Tuesday, like next week?
Yeah.
Okay.
Showing the overall site plan on the screen right now. So just showing get the loop going around. We've got the alternate parking up there. Well, that was alternate number one, but we have the additional parking, elementary school parking up here on the north end. Just that drop-off loop at the elementary school, loop coming behind the BOAG building and the existing gym, and down onto the south end. And one of the other things that we, not shown on this plan, but see if I can pull that up for you. I guess it's an addendum. Don't have that, sorry. One of the things that we changed on this was a portion of the street here. We're going to go back, just leave that asphalt up to the gate. But right about here, where we turn into the student parking, that would be new concrete out to the highway. Everything else, we were going to just go ahead and leave as the existing street road that's out there right now. And this way it would help save a little bit on cost.
And out there at the Highway 8, is that, you said, I think 3 lanes, Jason, coming in?
Correct. That would be 3 lanes, 1 coming in and then 2 exiting. So this way it just allows, a little bit more traffic after school, lets students out a little bit quicker out here.
Bottleneck, kind of get rid of that bottleneck in that whole drive. So,
The city of Pursuit is aware of all this.
yes.
Not that they care.
And we'll have something similar over here at the elementary entrance, where it's 1 lane in and then 2 lanes out as well.
Daniels Drive. Talk to you. On the, Jason, where's the gate going back there? On the elementary side?
Yeah, we switched it. It's actually come back here where this blue line is. It will be back here. This way, parents can still come in because now with alternate number 2, which was the renovations to the elementary school, switching the admin space to this northeast corner, this will allow parents to still park, pick up their kids if needed, and then head out. But this back gate where the blue line is, that will be closed during school hours. And this way there's no through traffic other than just, maybe some of the high school kids. But other than that, nobody will be able to get back on this back side.
And the fence is still, blow that back up, please. The fence coming in by where existing playground, is that still gonna be fenced in right there?
Back here, we will have to relocate some of the fencing to keep, just, what is it?
You see what I'm saying, Mr.
I think that's our fencing line there. So some of that fence, we will tie into where the gate is, but it will, we will have some additional fencing over here too on the playground side. And then we'll also still have this existing playground over here as well. But the fence that's currently installed, most of it will stay as is.
Right.
We'll have to do some in-betweens to,
Right.
to fill those spaces, but.
Right.
Fill them
Just
in.
to lock them in there.
Yes, yeah, we don't want that, we don't want it open at all. But what it does do, having that gate in the back rather than the front, we don't have to have someone open it up and close it. And if they open, they can't come around the corner, you know what I'm saying? Well, this way they're still on the outside of the perimeter.
So on our south end drive, going out to Highway 8, you said we got 2 lanes for turning and 1 for coming in. Is there plans for the students to exit out that way, or what? Well, we got two exits, and 1 coming in.
The students, we were still planning on them making the loop around.
Okay.
And so they just got it wider so that we can use more space there. With the 2 lane that we have now, it's just tight. So.
Okay, I
So
thought that's
at
what
the
our
elementary
original
school
plan
has the
was.
2 exits here as well. Whenever there's events, so when you have like grandparents' day, things like that,
Not really.
this parking lot will be full, and
Yes,
that will
but no.
help exiting.
it's gonna, from my understanding, for pickup and drop off during those times, it's one way. You're coming in there and you're coming around. There ain't no going back that way. Not to say during the day that you're up here and you flip around, you go back out that way, but not during pickup and drop off.
Understand, okay. I just wanna make sure, cause I thought that their school or steady flow was gonna be one of those.
So what do we do with the people that live down there?
Well,
And that will also work.
It won't
Well, there'll
change
still be
between
two-way.
anything, it's the same way right now.
Yeah.
So
It
it
really
probably ain't a
doesn't
bad
change.
thing to make it water.
Yeah.
There's no way we can stop that one person
Right, yeah.
from coming out.
Egressing down the road.
That's the reason for that third lane.
Okay.
So,
One of these days we'll own it.
Tried on it before.
Any other questions?
I don't have any.
any other? Okay. All right.
Okay.
The gate's gonna be right there at the gym, and the gate's gonna be up there.
Correct, the gate will be right here.
On the backside.
One there, that one's not moving, and adding that one right there to keep it from coming around the back.
Yeah.
Actually, the gate that we have, this right here is probably gonna get transplanted to right there. Because this one's fixing to change, and we were talking with Walter on that piece that I don't wanna lose a gate. And there's no sense in making another one, I got a perfectly good gate. That'll do the job.
And we're
We're just
gonna
gonna have a different type of gate out here, or?
I'm sure it'll be very similar.
This will be for the, like, back elementary teachers.
Coming in,
Coming in.
trash,
And then you got
trash
delivery.
truck, deliveries and all that stuff like that, so yeah. Again, they won't be able to go between the buildings because there'll be right here, excuse me.
Up there,
right
there's no
here.
way to get through.
That drive's gonna go away right there. So the only access will be around it at that point. Which, if we got kids walking there, we don't wanna drive it. Any other questions on that? Okay. All right. All right, as far as the bids on the drive, Lou, you wanna talk about that piece here?
Yes, we can. I mean,
I think it'd be a good spot.
yes, we received 5 bids, had a good turnout. You want to talk about who all bid the project? Or
Yeah, it'd be fine.
That's fine. Contacts, Alltech, Rogers, HWH, and HE Wright, they all bid the project. We also went through and our team, our office, the WRA, we scored all the contractors based off their qualifications, schedule, safety record, so on and so forth. And as it stands, we have Rogers with the highest score for the 5 contractors. And that's with base, alternate 1 and alternate 2, the complete project, as you saw on the screen.
Any questions on that part?
None of the locals bid. Number of local guys bidding?
Well, they,
Rogers and Alltech.
No, I mean like Augustine.
Augustine's out of business.
Is it?
Yeah, he out of concrete.
They're more than just concrete
Yeah.
to go on with that. They ain't getting into that.
Well, and the other side of it too is the bonding that it takes to be able to
Yes,
bid that job.
There's a bid bond and a performance and payment bond requirement for this project.
Okay.
And some smaller, I don't mean to be tacky, but some smaller firms may not be able to
Gotcha.
acquire that through their insurance provider. It doesn't mean anything bad, it just,
Bob James,
Yeah, they're not equipped to do anything like that. This is more civil engineering than pouring concrete.
A lot of civil in this one.
And you do have the component of the remodel, which you need. You're gonna have a mechanical, electrical, have a drywall sub, those kind of things.
Another, that did include the new door and all that stuff.
When will that be being awarded?
Tonight. It's on there tonight.
It's on there at,
It's on
Number
the right.
18.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
great. Anything on the bed?
Do what now?
updates on the band hall portion?
Band hall, we're still working on the design, tweaking some things. I'm actually, Jason sent me the floor plan. We're gonna start looking at some, jointly, start looking at some constructability, maybe not constructability, see if, maybe if there's some cost savings somewhere, the way we got the floor plan laid out, so on and so forth, looking at some existing conditions. I believe our goal is that, I'm using the term first quarter of next year, things how the, everything rolling into the new and getting out of the old cafeteria, those, but I'm thinking about the first quarter, we'll probably go out to bid once we get everything solidified.
And you're happy with what's going on over here?
I've been really pleased. I grew up in Linden. I don't know if Dr. Sue just told you, but I live in College Station. So this has been, I enjoy coming down there. So, but Keith has been doing a pretty good job. I mean, I can't really complain. The subs, I like the concrete sub, it's TCC, and we have TEC doing the dirt work. He runs a clean job. But the subs seem to be manning the job. I can see, I come down every other week for a progress meeting, and I can see the project moving forward. That's a good sign. I mean, I take photos and I do my report and those kind of things, so I can see progress. And he's good about calling. If he has a question, I'm gonna get with him either Monday or Tuesday. We're gonna look at some, we're going to start installing the windows, how we're going to trim some things out, just to kind of keep the ball moving forward. But yes, I haven't, knock on wood, no indication that, they're slouching or anything like that. And I was out on all the concrete pours in the reporting, whatever it was, 2 o'clock in the morning or 3 or whatever. I was up. But yes, I think they're doing a good job. I don't have any complaints.
Got any questions? Come on. All right. Thank you, sir. All right, next up, consider and possible approval of monthly expenditures to Rec Tech LLC for the work submitted on the new Small ISD cafetorium.
All right, Jason, Robert, Mark, I guess pay the bill?
Yeah, pay the bill. It's good. All the work is in place. We've already reviewed it. It's work has been completed.
Total for that's $289,148.80. That's one of the lower ones.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, that's an easy one compared to what they've been.
Yeah.
Poor boy like me.
Well, that'll probably ramp back up again because during that payout, he got out of the concrete work. He was getting, into his metal stud, framing work, those kind of things. So it'll ramp back up a little more. You'll see that bill go back up just because of sheet rock and those kind of things will start going.
Right. We have a motion to approve the monthly expenditures as presented.
Make that motion.
Motion by Melford, second by Josh. All in favor? Next up, superintendent's report.
All right, mid-year employee retention stipend went out. Well, I guess we'll go out tonight.
It's payday tomorrow.
Sorry.
It's payday tomorrow.
Yes, it is.
And that was, 77 employees? 74 employees for a grand total of 77,000. Is that what I thought you had?
It was a grand total of 30.
30.
Something.
That's the wrong number in my head. Way big, man. That's like way off
I
track.
like his number a little better.
Yeah, I'm sure his is right. So, Yes, sir.
That'd be right.
So, board training at Region 8 is December the 4th. I do expect it to be, I'm gonna go on record here, Josh, that's supposed to be pretty good.
I'm gonna make a note here.
And
Supposed to
then,
be pretty good.
anything beats a hot pocket, I'm not gonna say. And then our employee luncheon is December the 15th from 10:40 to 12:45. If you can come up and eat with our faculty, they
Good.
love the time for it.
Main Street's still catered. We're gonna have chicken Alfredo.
All right. All right.
It'll be a good time together.
That'll make sense. Make sure it's all right.
Well, Jason, Robert, that gets us down to executive session, so I'm gonna click off, okay?
All right, thank you.
Appreciate y'all being there.
Thank you. See ya. Have a good night.
Ms. Seegers. All right, we're gonna go into, next up, executive session. We'll discuss personnel per Texas Government Code, section 551.074. Discuss and consider contract recommendations of the following personnel per the same Texas Government Code: elementary teacher and elementary teacher, and resignation from employees with Texas Government Code, section 551.074, and consultation with attorney regarding construction matters for Texas Government Code, section 551.071. We will go into executive session at 7:59 p.m. All right, we'll return to open session at 9:25 p.m. Up next, deliver a possible action to select general contractor. Recommendation for the Multi-Student Driveway Project. Huh? One of y'all gotta read that. Melford, will you read that?
Make a motion that we adopt and approve the resolution selecting Rectex Rogers Construction as general contractor for the MISD new driveway project, approving the alternates of elementary office remodel and additional elementary parking, and delegating authority to the superintendent.
Second.
Motion by Melford, second by Gap. All in favor? Unanimous.
We're done, unless you wanna hang around till the rest of it.
I gotta make some phone calls.
Thanks, Mark.
I gotta
You gotta call him.
get a contractor started.
Appreciate you.
Thank y'all. Y'all have a good evening.
You too.
All right, up next, cast votes and ballot resolution for the Bowie County Appraisal District Board of Directors for 2026 through 2029. Do we have a recommendation and a motion?
I'll make a motion that we put all votes to Robert Shepherd.
Motion for Robert Shepherd from Terry, second by Josh. All in favor? It's unanimous. And we have a motion to accept the resignations for Kristen Cooper and Tanya Gordon.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Josh,
Second.
second by Tim. All in favor? Consider approval of new teachers to fill elementary teacher positions. We have a motion to accept the recommendation for Nikki Rowland and Haley Potts to fill elementary teacher positions on a one-year probationary contract for the 25-26 school year.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Melford, second by Gap. All in favor? It's unanimous. Next up, adjourn. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Josh, second by Tim. All in favor? Unanimous, including Melissa.